Welcome everybody to the Reality or Not podcast with DJ Reality and Eddie, Sweet Dick Willie Williams. How you doing, Ed?
Whatever, man.
That's-
Whatever.
How you doing today? How's your day
Whatever,
going?
man.
Uh,
I don't know now that another man is speaking on my genitals.
Sweet Dick Willie, what's up, man? How's your day going so far?
It's going. What about yours?
It's going pretty good.
Well,
A little tired. Hung out. We played. Who we played last night? We played. Was it New Mexico? Was it New Mexico? Um, who was the game against? Was that? I think it was New Mexico. I can't
oh,
remember.
no, I want
Um,
you to stay there. It's your
shit, I
school.
watched the shit. I mean, I'm still recovering from the alcohol, but we won.
Yeah,
Celebrated.
they won.
Yeah. Michigan. Sorry they didn't win. I would have liked to see, ironically, that game because it was going to be in Atlanta, even though I'll be out of town. But it'd have been a good game for everybody to go and partake in. But other than that, pretty good. Pretty good games overall. I thought that Michigan might be able to pull it out, but they didn't. And pause. And Auburn gonna be a tough one for Michigan State tomorrow. So we shall see.
It will be.
Cool,
It'll
cool.
be a Auburn and Bama final. It'll be a basketball version of the Iron Bowl.
Wait, wait, Bama?
Yeah, Bama's playing Duke and will beat Duke. Hope they'll beat Duke. I'm gonna put it in the air. That's that stuff that people that like burn incest say, speak it into um
Sticking to
existence.
existence. Yeah,
Yeah, they play tonight.
that, I don't know, man. Cooper Flag been looking pretty good, man. So
Yeah, maybe he'll pull a juju.
speaking of Juju, it's great. How you feel about that? How like did that like did you cry? Did it hurt your feelings? Did it were you down? Did you write a letter?
Man,
Like
I was completely devastated because I had USC going all the way in my
Mhm.
bracket. Like, that had them winning. Like, because they're a one seed.
Mhm.
Um, and I just assumed that they would go all the way. So I was really heartbroken about it. I was really looking forward to them playing, the one team
Mhm.
um, in the final four if the bracket would have worked out because, I was just looking at USC as like, oh, I was right, they were one seed.
They were,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was,
no, they
I
was
was,
balling. Shit, they blew
I
out
was
the first.
really looking,
I think
yeah,
they blew them out by like 30 or 40 points. Like it was a crazy game. Like I think the other team that they played had like 29 points. I was looking at it was some game. I was like, damn, they only scored 29 total points. But no, they was hooping.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was really looking forward to them playing against UConn in the next round, but they gotta get past Kansas State today. I'll probably watch it to see, if they can still run their offense as well as they have without Juju. I'm kind of worried about that, but I think their head coach, I think she's a Hall of Fame head coach, and if
mhm.
anybody can lead USC to the win, I'm sure that it's Coach uh, Coach Summit um,
Mhm.
can do it.
So
Um,
wait, let me ask you this question. Hold up. You filled out a women's bracket?
I did.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't fill out a men's bracket though because I just think the women's basketball is just so more compelling than men's basketball, and I just
Damn.
think that the you know women are the greatest, and I think they have probably the best coach in possibly all the sports right now. Lindsay Gottlieb, she's a generational talent as far as coaching goes. Um, I really appreciate the stand that she took. Oh, she didn't take a stand. Um, I'm
That's an
actually just
interesting take.
bullshitting.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no, I'm just.
that's an interesting
I,
take.
I
I was
know.
about to say,
I know
uh
none of this. I was just.
Wait, you said
It's just.
Gottlieb, but is she any family to Doug Gottlieb? I only know
Um,
one.
Yeah, that's his second cousin removed.
Ah, okay.
Um, yeah, their first cousins. Their parents are first cousins. Um, yeah, she's actually married to Patrick Martin. I don't know if you know him.
Mm-mm.
But he's
Yeah,
part of the
got the wiki. You know all that shit. I
yeah,
don't know anything about this woman.
she's 47. She was
Mhm.
born in 77, class of 95 like us.
Okay, all
Um
right. Getting it, getting
and
that paper,
yeah,
getting
and
paid. What how much she make? I'm
um
curious.
yeah,
Hopefully she get paid like the men coaches.
actually she isn't related to
Doug Ali? Not at all.
the Gottlieb. Yeah.
Oh, so that's just a white name. Then that's just a non-unique white name.
Yeah, so I mean, um no, I have no idea what to think about those people.
Oh, that's funny. So, I mean, Ad sent you the link about this, and I've been thinking about I've been thinking about getting them, but but I was like, I don't know. But them Aja shoes, I
Mm,
sent you a link
yeah,
about a while back. You
you
you was
did.
you was kind of clowning me, saying I need to
No,
get those
I,
instead of the
I
Caitlin
didn't
Clark.
clown you. I mean, I didn't clown you. You told me if I got, you told me you'd pay for me to get them. You buy
Yeah,
them for me,
I get you. I
and
get you a size 14.
you didn't buy them for me.
They don't come out to May.
Oh well, I'll be getting them in May.
You want them? I make sure you have them hot pink shoes, man.
No, it's all right. I don't have anything to wear with them.
Oh man, you ain't got to match no more. We in 2025. Like you could wear whatever colors you want. You could just be an eccentric individual. They gonna love you
All
for them.
right.
They gonna be like, look
Well,
at sweet Dick Eddie. And
you
they gonna
know,
be looking at your shoes. Your shoes gonna be shining. Everybody gonna be loving you.
I don't want them. Then what is Kayla Clark coming out with a pair of bowling shoes?
Nah, she ain't got her shoes yet, but it's coming down the pipeline. You'll see. I'll be first thing smoking with them. They're gonna be dope. She got her own little pairs of Kobe's that she wears, like her own little personal pairs that they made for her. Because she got black mama mentality apparently. So
Because
she
Kobe's
that.
dead. He couldn't stop her from doing it.
Nah, he couldn't. Nah, he didn't need to. They need to make sure that the visibility was there within the WNBA. She's one of the few players that wear Kobe's. It's like
Man.
Juju, Caitlin, and then it might be some few sporadically, but the way they see their shoes, they only let certain people wear those shoes, and she's one of them because she's a killer. And Juju's a killer as well. Now, so with that, do you think? Because I saw some debates or some arguments saying that I don't know if players are ready for that yet as far as women, but do you think with her notoriety like that they shouldn't be stopped to go to the WNBA?
I don't know. I don't,
Yeah, because they gotta
because
don't women gotta wait at least 3 years? I think.
is that what it is?
Yeah, three.
Um,
Honestly, they gotta wait at least three, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I thought they had to wait years before they can go to the WNBA.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it'll probably ruin women's college basketball if they started being able to do one of the duns. But I mean, what's the rush to get into the league? So you can. I mean, the EVPs at my company make more than they make. Uh, like I don't know. I mean, you got NILs in place now,
Hmm.
so they can make a little bit of money from that. I mean, I guess they could lift the restrictions, but I mean, yeah, but you take somebody like Juju Watkins, who probably would have came out last year. Now she's tore her ACL. She's gonna have to come back from that. Like, think about what's it? One of them young girls at UConn, not Paige Beck or whatever. She's had some injuries. I'm thinking about the young lady she came in with, because when I was still reading Slam magazine, they were all the talk. What's her name? But she's had injuries since like she came into UConn, and maybe if she had had one good year, she
Mhm.
might have left after that. But like um now she's gonna be stuck trying to become an EVP somewhere so she can make the money that she would have made in the WNBA. Um,
I know you got to wait 4 years. You got to
might
graduate from
be.
college. Yeah, you got to either graduate from college or be 4 years removed from high school.
Mm, yeah, so I feel like they could let them go out at least. Like in football, they make them do 2 years and then they can leave. I feel like they shouldn't make them stay the full 4 years necessarily. I mean,
Hmm.
they can always start saying, putting like saying, you got to do 2 years.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know. I mean, I
well,
feel like that whole rule in general, like the even if they ready, they ready. Football is a little bit different, as in like most players like get bulked up in college, but at the same time, I don't think the restriction should be. I don't think there should be no restriction at all. Period. I mean, honestly, if you look at if a team wants to take a chance on a player, I mean, they take a chance on the player, and that's just what it is. I don't think that. I think we're past that. You have to, do 3 years, 4 years, etc. Because in the NBA or in for NBA, I think it's 1 year at least. But
yeah,
if you just want to go, you want to, I think it's crazy to, with the mix of the portal and those restrictions, and then the NILs being thrown in there, it gets a little bit dicey, as far as like because you could be at one school. Well, at least with the you can go within 1 year to the NBA, but you know, players are jumping from team to team. Like you got Scottie Pippen's son
hmm
who said he's leaving already. And that was before the Sweet 16 game. So it gets.
just,
You say what?
just
That's
like
your
his,
boy, ain't it?
just like his daddy.
Yeah. I
Can't
mean,
honor any kind of commitments.
he committed to the Bulls.
Nothing.
He
No, you
committed to
know what? I take that back.
Oklahoma
He,
State. Oklahoma
he,
State wanted to.
he
There
ain't
you go.
like his dad. Like his mama jumping from place to place.
Ah,
He jumped from school. She jumped from that.
yeah. I mean, that little. So, how did you feel about Marcus Jordan and the mom doing their thing back in the day?
I was cool with it just because your teammate. Your teammate's son was smashing your ex-wife. Like anything that gives Scottie Pippen a bad look, I'm okay with, which is why I love his hairstyle. Like
You like his
anything
hairstyle,
that
the
because
straight
it
back.
makes him look.
He got straight backs, I think.
I don't know what he has, but anything that makes Scottie Pippen looks bad, I'm a fan of.
Hmm.
Hair, ex-wife, hopping on your teammates, son,
What's his wife name? Starts
Larsa, I think Larsa.
Larsa. Yeah, Larsa Pippen.
Like,
Um, I mean, so let me ask you this question. I don't know if this makes him look good or bad, but would where would you put Scottie Pippen in? Well, let me ask this question first. Would you put Scottie Pippen in your top 10 small forwards ever? And if not, who would you potentially put above him?
I
And
wouldn't, but I don't
current
like.
players too. So
I wouldn't because I don't like Scottie Pippen, and these are moments where I don't look at things objectively. I look at them with a lens of hate. So I could probably name who would I put over Scottie Pippen as far as small forwards.
yeah, let
Um,
me hear. Like I'm cool with your lens of hate. I'm all
okay,
for it. So
I'm gonna go Chris Mullin, Detlef
okay,
Shrimp, Grant
okay.
Hill. Was T
Start off
Mac a
with the white
small
boys.
forward?
Let's go. Yeah, T
Was
Mac is
T
small
Mac a
forward.
small forward? I'll go
Mm-hmm.
with T Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll go with Kyle Korver.
Oh, she you doing another white boy in there? Okay, all right.
Yep, I'll go Kyle Korver. I'll go LeBron. Isn't LeBron considered a three?
Yeah, LeBron's a three.
Yep, I'll go obviously LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll go was Tony Kukoc considered a three?
Yeah, he was.
Tony
Not
Kukoc.
like small forward, power forward, but yeah, he was. I mean, he was one of them beginning players that was a mix. So
Yeah, I'll do
European players
Tony
on the Knicks.
Kukoc.
Okay.
I'll do Mark Aguirre,
Okay.
Adrian Dantley.
Okay. Detroit
Um,
Pistons. I see you.
I'll do
What about
my
KD?
smart for. Yep, KD. He's considered a three. I'll do KD. Um,
You got
I'll
Melo.
do. Yep, I'll do Melo. I'll do Gordon Hayward.
Oh damn, you got
Um,
like 4 white dudes in there. Okay, I see you.
yeah, probably about 5 or 6. Chris Middleton's a two, right?
Yeah, he's more of a two.
Okay,
Only because of the way their team was. Well, I don't know what he's doing right now. He ain't in Milwaukee. Nobody paying attention. But
I'll do Kyle Kuzma.
okay. Oh, you put
Um,
Kuz? Okay, Flint Town. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
yeah. Paul George.
Okay,
Brandon Ingram. I'm at 15. Jimmy Butler.
okay.
Um, I'll go. The one boy that used to play in Memphis, but Dylan Brooks. Is that his name? Is he a three or is he a two?
He a weird position player. Like he's
Okay, I
effective,
will.
but I
I
would
will
he had to hold
well,
LeBron, so I would put him at pause.
he,
I'll put him at a 3.
okay, so we'll go. Dylan Brooks. Kawhi Leonard.
Okay,
Andrew Wiggins.
okay.
Tobias Harris. I can't forget Tobias. He is head
Oh,
and shoulders
Tobias.
above
All right,
Scotty. Yeah.
the savior, the one that always put up
Yep.
1911. You don't realize it. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
Tobias.
Danny Green. Um, can
Oh
hit the
shit,
three.
Danny Green.
So we at 20. Bojan Bogdanovic because he can shoot that
Okay,
bit.
okay,
Um,
okay,
Jake
Bo.
Jay Crowder because I'm sure he could lock Scotty up.
Okay,
Um, Davis Bertans.
okay,
Otto Porter Jr.
okay.
Um,
Damn,
okay,
auto,
Larry Bird. Larry Bird. How do I forget about Larry Bird?
the
Um,
Otto Porter Jr.
yeah, yeah. T.J. Warren because he was killing it
in the bubble.
in the bubble. Yep.
Uh,
Alex English. How could I forget him? Dr.
yeah,
J. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Rose. Come on, Jalen. Vince Carter.
Jalen is a point guard, but I'll allow it.
Okay, you all right? But no, we'll take him off the list because I'm still at 29.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I'm just kind of looking at some of the small. Oh, wait, are we considering Spurriel a three?
Yeah, he's a shooting guard slash 3. I mean, he played
Okay,
both positions. I mean, he played more small forward in New York than he did in Golden State. But yeah,
I'll go with Spurriel because I heard Larson Pips. I assume Larson Pips probably like somebody that can choke.
oh,
Um,
okay.
I'll go with
Okay, shout out to
Joe
Carlos.
Ingles. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
go with Joe Ingles.
okay. Not to be
Ingles.
confused with Alex. Okay,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we are like 31. I mean, if you want, I can go more.
no, that's
Um,
good. That's a nice list. And all of those players you mentioned about a good 6 or 7 that were just white. Um,
yeah,
we could that list is cool. I appreciate it. So
yeah, but
yeah, man. So
yeah,
let's ask
I'll
this
take
question.
any of them above
Go-
Scotty.
You said all of them above Scotty? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
if I had to start a franchise with any of those players above Scotty,
Okay.
I would feel content with my answer,
Okay. I'm with it. Okay.
especially
So
Kyle
you so
Korver.
you so you're Kyle Korver. You start your
Yeah,
franchise with Kyle Korver. All right. So mentioning that, let's go through and we can hit most of them, if not all of them. But if you had to look at each franchise, what player would you think was the draw to that franchise? So say for instance, if you say Detroit, like would you like I would say Isaiah. But what would you think like the best player in each franchise?
I mean with Detroit, of course, Isaiah is a no-brainer.
Okay, what about Chicago?
Um, Chicago, Derrick Rose.
Oh, Derrick Rose? All right. I would probably go Michael Jordan in that one, but okay.
I mean, I could see why you would, but similar to Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan isn't in my top 28 shooting guards of all time.
Okay.
We
So let me ask
we
this
can run
question.
that list down in another podcast if you want. But
Okay.
go
So
ahead, ask your question.
no, let me ask this question. So and that'll probably be better. We'll just do that. But would you consider Derrick Rose more of a face? 'Cause, like, I would say Isaiah. But would you consider Derrick Rose more of a face? 'Cause, like, I would say Isaiah. But would you consider Derrick Rose more of a face? 'Cause, like, I would say Isaiah. of the Bulls than Scottie Pippen?
I think so. And in all seriousness, and being objective, I think Derrick Rose, for that, you talking about any level of success the Bulls have really had since the Jordan and Rodman years and the Jordan
No,
and Horace Grant years. Like I'm just talking about like in that time period. Like I know Pippen was on those teams, but it was more like Jordan and Rodman or Jordan and Winnington or Jordan and Paxson, and like Pippen was like probably seventh, eighth somewhere when you get the
Jordan
listing. But
Winnington.
that's yeah. But you know when you talk about like their top three in that three peat, you're probably saying like Jordan, uh,
Jordan and Randy Brown.
yeah, Jordan, Randy, Brown, and Rodman. You know what I'm saying? Like Pippen is probably after you get past Coop Coach and maybe Pete Myers if he was still there, then you know a couple other names that you named Scotty. But that's kind of straying away from your question.
Mhm.
But I think that, like in all seriousness, if you think about any level of success that the Bulls have had, like even sniffing at even the Eastern Conference Finals was when Derrick Rose was there, and I think Derrick Rose was like the hometown boy. I think he won
Mhm.
the MVP. I think if Derrick Rose doesn't get injured, you know you see a lot more from him. But I think Derrick Rose, in some ways, you kind of look at like he went through the injuries and all that, but like man, like I think, and maybe it's how he continued to try to come back. And even you know he hasn't been in Chicago in a long time, but like I think like man, I think the fact that like I said, he's the hometown boy for them, and like
Mhm.
I mean, he came back to the city. He gave you the best level of success you've had since the '90s. He won an
Mhm.
MVP. Um, to me, I think so. I mean, I understand though, like people compare Scotty with Mike and all these things, but I think, um, no, I think Derrick Rose was probably more the face than like in all seriousness, we'll go. Of course, we're gonna go like that bum ass Michael Jordan number one. Um, but
You
then
don't, you,
like
don't, you don't like Derrick Rose going third? Pause.
behind Pippen,
Nah, he went third in that situation that he went in when he was in court. But nah, I probably Derrick Rose
what?
outside of Michael
Oh,
Jordan. You don't remember that court docket or document said that when they were
never
trying to
mind.
on that
Yeah,
allegation.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
said he went
yeah,
third.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
But
forgot.
yeah, crazy shit.
Good
But no,
back.
I mean
Uh,
Scott. I look. I put it like this. It's barely like I would like behind Michael Jordan. I would say Rose, but Scottie Pippen. Not to say that he's forgettable, but you can almost think of. I mean, with the exception of him, playing with Michael Jordan, it's almost you can almost forget that he played for the Bulls, if that makes sense. Like don't get me wrong. I mean, he was a integral part of the championship, but
mhm,
when you think about the Bulls, you think about Rose and Jordan. You don't really you think about Scotty
with Jordan.
with Jordan, but you don't
Yeah,
think about So it's a little bit. I think Scotty's a talented player. I remember people said that you know um, the fact that when Jordan left, Scotty, I think he finished second in MVP and stuff like that.
yeah,
But even when he left, his numbers didn't really, it's like you would think like the lead dog, their numbers would go like his numbers didn't really change. He
yeah,
just he led them to I think it was like two less wins or something like that. Like they won 55 or 57, but he didn't really he wasn't a lead dog. Like, and that's how I see it with Derrick Rose and Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I even look at Scotty when he went to Portland. That squad was stacked. And if you were, I would just say if you were just like I think probably Scotty like was probably like he's probably the father to like your KDs and uh who was that in Brooklyn with them? KD and James Harden is the talented, but they can't lead a team. Like,
Hmm.
and that's how I kind of look at Pippen. Like, not as I'm thinking about it, like that's what Pippen was important. Like, if you would have put, um,
I mean, I put James Harden as could be a leader though above Scotty.
I mean, yeah, probably, but not that much. But I feel like it's that Portland
because
squad of
yeah,
Scotty.
Houston, he got the Houston team to the Eastern Conference Finals or Western Conference Finals.
I mean, well, I'll say this, I think later in his career he stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard with Harden. Like I don't know if that Harden was necessarily maybe stop being a leader. I think it's more that like when Harden's ready to go, Harden's ready to go, and Harden
And when he's
will
not,
stop playing.
yeah.
Like Harden was 346 pounds his last week in Houston, and his first week in Brooklyn, he was like 220 pounds. Like when he's done playing, he's
He's over.
done playing.
He checked out. Yeah, he checked
I
out.
don't know if that's not, so that might not necessarily be the right comparison. KD is probably more that comparison where like I think KD you can to what you're saying, KD will give you the same production that KD will give you his numbers is somewhere around 25, 27 a game on any
Mm-hmm.
team he gets to. But he's not gonna lead you anywhere. He's not gonna be that locker room leader that you need on your team. Like he
He
didn't
the
have
dude that you pass the ball to and he gets you buckets.
yeah, and like
Um,
you ain't looking at for that. You ain't looking at KD to be like, hey man, like I wouldn't want to put KD on a young squad,
oh
which
no,
is
that'd be terrible.
yeah, which was kind of a little bit that happened in Phoenix when you ended up. Was Chris Paul still there when he went? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah, he
So
was.
not necessarily, but like I
But
wanted to.
he got traded like the next year though, because I think Chris Paul got hurt, and then he ended up. What was he? I forgot where he ended up at. It wasn't San Antonio. Oh, Golden State.
Yeah,
Um,
see, I want to put KD in Houston, like
it'd be
or
terrible.
I want to put
KD has
KD
to be in
like
a KD has to
in
be in a
Detroit.
team. It's like KD has to be around a
Yeah,
team that's already built. So like
yeah,
KD would flourish with like it's like Golden State. I mean, he won the Finals MVP and all that stuff. I mean, because that
they were
Golden State team
established.
that
Yeah,
they were so stacked that I tell people all the time, like it was almost unfair, but I mean, it's how the system works. But
yeah,
KD was able to not have the pressure of being the leader on that team,
yeah,
and then you got all of these double teams that KD was damn free to roam within that
yeah,
championship. He didn't have
yeah.
to like it was automatically 1-on-1. There was no you could leave him,
About
and
the
then
double form,
yeah, it was no double because you're talking Clay,
you
you're
leaving
talking
stuff
Steph,
off.
yeah, and then even back then,
Draymond
Draymond
knocked that down. Yeah, I
was
was say Draymond could knock it down.
yeah.
Um, but that's how I look at when Scotty went to Portland. Like
Mm-hmm.
you look at the Portland squad, you had like Sheed, Brian Grant, I think Steve Smith,
Mouse,
um,
Damon
yeah,
Stoudemire,
Mouse.
yeah,
Man, Portland at that time, Portland almost if you when you looked, I think Detlef Schrempf might have been on that squad.
yep.
Like
That
Portland at that
team was
time,
stacked. That
Portland was like
that
a
team
one
was
through
amazing.
10 squad easy.
Yeah.
Like
Shoot, yeah. What's the name coming off the bench? What's dude ended up going to Indiana?
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah. So I mean, they
Yeah,
they were they were heavily stacked. So
yeah, and it's like Pippen should have came in and been like the locker room. Like I'm trying to think who in the '90s who would have went there and just been like, and maybe they don't give you the same amount. Maybe they lose 3 or 4 points a game, but they just like we're like she probably needed somebody to be like, hey, she stop clowning, stop getting texts. Like Scotty wasn't that
Chris
dude, but
Paul,
like if you
a Chris
yeah,
Paul.
if you
They,
a
they
Chris
needed a
Paul,
Chris Paul type
yeah,
of player, like what's a guard that could have led in the 90s 2000s. It'd have been like I don't know. I'm just trying to think
I'm
of
trying to think
leaders.
yeah,
Uh,
that's what.
I mean, not a. I mean, Mark Price was damn near out the league, but I mean, he was balling in Cleveland in the '90s. But um, that was a tough one. It's
Yeah,
usually the guard that's the leader that can do that. I'm trying to think of who came in '99, 2000 around then that could have been
I mean, if
established.
you had
Maybe
maybe
Gary
like
Payton.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
Gary Payton, or like you got
um,
like Jason Kidd that would have been out there.
Jason Kidd would have been
Um,
amazing. They would have won a championship if Jason Kidd was there. Hell, Jason Kidd damn near won one. I mean, it's just the teams that they played. It's like Jason, they had no chance. Where they played the Lakers and then San Antonio. It was like
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
no
it was
chance. I
hard.
mean, they went to two
Yeah,
finals. Like it's almost like even with the Pistons in was that 2000, the 2005. They
yeah.
took San Antonio to
Before.
7.
Oh yeah, they saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Steve Nash. I'm
what's
looking
name
at
would have been a good
Steve
one. Dude, the coach for Portland. He'd have been a good Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Well, I don't
Chauncey.
know if he was ready at
But
that
Chauncey
time,
was,
but
yeah. But Steve Nash
yeah.
would
Nah,
have been,
yeah. Nash would have been perfect for him because
yeah.
I was watching this thing with Joe Johnson, and he was saying how, and that's one of the topics we're getting into, but it was talking about like debatable MVPs and stuff like that. I thought Nash deserved both of them, and then the people that you say that potentially he cheated or stole them from, I didn't really like. Say for they said Kobe probably should have got it 2006, but I mean there was a 7th seed and they were barely in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and that was just a dark time for the Lakers in my opinion, and they got knocked out. Then they were
Yeah.
saying Shaq in 2005, and I didn't think Shaq was better than. I mean, I didn't think Shaq's impact was more than Nash's at that time. And hell, they ain't even win it that year either. I mean, well, Nash didn't win it
Man,
either, but Nash was going up against them Lakers squads and them San Antonio squads. So
yeah. Man, after the Lakers came off on three-piece, man, Shaq came in the camp out of shape, played himself into shape. Like, man, Shaq wasn't an MVP. Like, to me, Shaq's MVP years were like possibly the three-peat years.
yeah,
After that, like Shaq just got lazy. Like, but Shaq don't always want to say that. Like,
hmm
Shaq was just like kind of
it depends
something
on
like
who's
was,
saying it. It depends on who's saying it.
yeah,
Like
that's
if
true.
if Jordan says, "Man, Shaq got," or Kobe says Shaq got lazy, and Kobe did say it back then.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
And when he said it, Shaq kind of went up against it. But now, Kobe gone is like, oh well, he's
he was
kind of
right.
right about that. But
Dwight
Charles
Dwight
Barkley,
Howard said, "Oh yeah,
yeah,
Charles Barkley,
or
yeah,
even Dwight Howard,
that's valid."
it's like, damn, like, be able to take criticism holistically. Don't just just because of who it's coming
Pick
from.
and choose. Yeah,
You're like, oh, you ain't got no championship. Like nobody, like, and that's one thing I think kind of ruined the league, in my opinion, is well, not it ruined how we view players because I
mm,
like NBA as a whole. I could care less if you win. Like, long as you go out there and you bust your ass, like I could care less about you winning a championship. Now, it's dope for you to win a championship, but it's almost
right.
Jordan. It's that it's people putting lines in the sand so nobody else could be better than them. Because I mean, I think players, not to say that they're necessarily better than Jordan, but there's been players that has come into the league that's as talented or more talented than Jordan. They just didn't win as much as him.
Man, that's all
Watching,
about it.
I mean, LeBron is a fucking amazing hooper slash athlete. Hell, KD,
Yeah,
KD is a hell of a. I mean, KD clip, like he's probably one of the most efficient, shooters in the game. You talking
yeah,
Steph. I mean, Steph won 4 championships, and it's like, well, it ain't, it's just because he's a good shooter. It's like, well, no, they have to win the game. Like, it's not just,
right.
he goes and shoots 15 to 23 pointers, and that's why they win. It's like, no, I mean, these are some great players that we tend to diminish their ability just because they didn't go 6-0. And I
Yeah,
thought the 6-0 argument is always, like I said, it's almost like nobody played with Jordan except Jordan. So, whoever played against him, you know, they're not good enough. It's like, no, I mean, I remember, him going up against the Knicks and struggling, or him losing against Boston. Hell, him losing against
right.
Detroit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that's never mentioned because it's almost the narrative that, when he lost, oh, he didn't have
He was
Scotty,
building himself up.
or
Yeah,
yeah, it's
he
like
was
no, I
young.
mean, he lost. Like, it's
Yeah,
okay. Like, most it's okay to, it's almost as if they don't look at, you know player, like they never look at him losing. It's like,
yeah,
for the 6-0, I look at it as 6-15. Like, you play 15 years, you won 6 times. I mean, you look at
right.
Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson won 5 championships, went to the finals 9 times, and only played 13 seasons. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
that's that's amazing to me. And Magic doesn't even get mentioned. They say who's the greatest Laker. I still put it as Magic. I think Kobe, you know, doing 19 years there, within one franchise is amazing in itself. But I still
Right.
I I still don't, and I like Kobe, but I
Do
still
you
think, you know, Shaq. I still put Shaq above Kobe. On those Lakers teams.
on the Lakers? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I think like so.
You talking about the time that they played together? Or are you talking about overall in the Lakers franchise? Lakers franchise, you will rank Shaq over Kobe.
I think I would, yeah, because I feel like
Because
no, I get. I mean, it's a debatable thing. I mean, it's like I said, who know? I mean, there's no,
Kobe got two more championships after that, right?
yeah,
Or was it
but
one?
he had two more, but because Kobe got 5, Shaq got 4, because Shaq got one in Miami. But it's like I look at the overall. I mean, it's things that Kobe did that I didn't like either. Um, as far as like throwing Shaq under the bus, as far as not with the weight thing, but with the snitching when he was in
Yeah,
trouble and
yeah,
been interrogated and stuff like that, and even in 2007 when he did the interview and he was talking about how this team is terrible, and he almost became a Piston that year.
yeah. I
Almost
remember.
got
Yeah,
traded. So
but I
it's
guess
just
I'm. But we talking about hooping though, and I think to what you said, I think the one thing that Kobe ends up is gonna like where what might help Kobe get to the top is like you said he was 19 years as a Laker, and like uh, probably at least 2/3 to that
hmm
Kobe played at a high level. Like you could probably book in on the first 2 3 years where he's coming out of high school and he's learning the game, and then on the tail end the last 2 3 years struggling with injuries. Like I think and so I think Shaq was there what 5 6 seasons. No wait,
90,
Shaq. I don't know.
96 to 2003 or
96, so like
2004. No, because they lost against the Pistons in
this
2004.
is yeah, and then he was like so. I mean, well, Shaq had a nice little stretch there of like 9 to 10 years. Like I guess I look at it as like Kobe. Like if you were just talk about career
hmm
and not think about like okay, taking into account Shaq like mainly his Orlando Lakers and then like even the Magic, the not Magic, the other team, Miami.
Miami.
Take those years into account. If you take all that into account and stack them up against Kobe's, then I'm probably more inclined to say, oh yeah, I'll go with Shaq over Kobe. But if I'm just thinking about like
Come on, just as a
their
Laker.
yeah, just as a Laker, I would
hmm
probably put Kobe and kind of what you said, like the 19 years as a Laker probably puts Kobe to me in the top, at least probably the top five. Because to me, like, I I think Magic to what you said, like Magic played his whole career with the Lakers as well. Like, granted, it was cut short because he allegedly got HIV, but he's the first man to gain like
Allegedly.
200 pounds. Yeah, he's because he's the only person that I know what HIV quote marks for those people that aren't like watching, but
hmm
HIV in quote marks that
Okay.
has like gained 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Magic is as
Oh,
big as
400.
me.
So he,
Yeah,
he gained
Magic
400.
is yeah, he gained 400. No, but Magic, whatever. His career was cut short because of HIV. Because Magic had what 13 years with the Lakers, maybe
Yeah, 13. Yeah. Five
11
five
or 13.
championships, 5 championships,
And,
9 finals,
yeah,
13 years. And then
and you
he
think
kind
about
of
that
had
success.
14, but that one year didn't count when he came back in '96.
Yeah, yeah. So to
But
me,
because he
like
only played like 10 games or something. But
yeah, and so to me, like you look at that success that Magic had. But then
look,
because you could take 13 years of Magic, and you could probably say Kobe if you take away the beginning and end of his career where he young out of high school and then injuries, him and Magic, if you probably put up their productive years, it's probably 13 because Magic came in playing at a high level. Magic left playing out
one
high.
finals. You say one finals MVP, all that stuff. I mean,
So like
I still
to
don't
me, you
understand why he's
have
in the
to.
All-Star game, but whatever.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think HIV took his goatee. I think that's the only thing Magic lost.
That's the only thing you lost.
It was his goatee.
Other
Yeah.
other people lost like white blood cells or whatever, but
Yeah, nah, he
Magic
just lost.
just lost
He
his
just lost the
beard.
goatee.
Yeah,
Like
you right.
you
Yeah,
never
that
seen him with
goatee
facial
ain't
hair.
you ain't never seen. Damn.
Yeah,
So
it's
he had
gone.
like, yeah, that was his HIV.
Yeah, his goatee is gone. That's it.
I'm about to think of an acronym for that. But
Goatee, no.
but to me, like I probably put like Kareem in there.
Mhm.
I never watched Jerry West play, but you hear what they say about Jerry West. Um,
I mean, Jerry West
I
was
don't know.
I think he's at 1 for 8 or 1 for 9 for the championship.
Yeah, but he still. But to what you're saying,
But
though,
that,
he
but
went
so,
not,
so that's what I'm
and
saying.
that was
Like,
and
who
and
cares?
that was
Like,
on
they played at a
Boston.
high level. Yeah, they played at a high
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Elgin Baylor also played for the Lakers. Like that's the thing. Like we talking about like the best players, like the Lakers and Celtics are like hard because of the
Nigga,
history.
Kareem, nigga. Like,
Yeah, that's also, like Kareem. Like to
so.
me, like I I don't know if Kobe. Like if I were to probably just look at like the Lakers all time, like
Hmm.
Kobe could probably get to top five. I don't know if Kobe's top three just because off the top of my head. I'm automatically gonna probably put like Kareem and Magic and those two like in the top three. Like,
Hmm.
but then I feel like I'd have to see how long the Elgin Baylor played there with the Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. I probably won't put Wilt there because I don't think I think Wilt will probably
What
get
was
more
only there for
consideration
maybe
in Philly.
4 or 5 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I
he got
probably
to
wouldn't.
69 and he retired in 73.
Yeah,
Right.
so like, I mean, but you take like I was trying to think of some like I mean I want to put James Worthy over Kobe, but like I mean you look at
James
James
Worthy was
Worthy
hooping.
is some yeah James Worthy got a man. If I was to talk to somebody that was a diehard Lakers fan that was our age and
Hmm.
just was like a diehard Lakers fan, so
Hmm.
grew up watching like the '80s Lakers, or
Hmm.
like somebody was like say my brother's age, like Raymond, like
Hmm.
and they were to tell me like if they wanted to make an argument to me that James Worthy, they thought James Worthy was top five, I'd probably be like, yeah, I could see it. Like
You look at
I
James
don't
Worthy.
know that.
You look at him, right? And the only reason why you probably don't give him as much props or visibility is because of the large shadow of Magic and Kareem.
Yeah, he was the third best player behind two
He was fucking hooping.
all-time greats. Yeah,
Yeah. He goes to any other team, in my opinion, I think he puts up 25, 25 to 27 points. But he played within the system, and I think he still averaged maybe like
yeah,
18 or something. So
yeah, he still got numbers playing with all-time greats in their primes. Like,
no, James is a beast.
yeah,
So
but
and shoot, I mean, you look at that 91 championship, from the Bulls, a lot of people fail to realize. Don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, Jordan won. You beat whoever's in front of you, but
yeah,
James Worthy got hurt, Magic got hurt, and what's dude used to coach Byron Scott got hurt.
Byron Scott, yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it's just how everything. I mean, injuries are part of the game. So, but
right.
I mean, Byron Scott was
Oh,
at one point in time. Byron Scott was leading the Lakers in scoring. So it's
yeah,
just like with these great players, he was averaging like 21 points a game. So I mean, I mean, the Lakers had some nice rosters.
yeah,
And the thing, one thing that's always hard with me, like say for instance Eddie Jones. I thought Eddie Jones. I mean, I could be totally off with this within this opinion, but I felt like if Eddie Jones would have continued to start, the Lakers would have still won. Granted,
yeah,
Kobe was a way Kobe ended up being way better. At one
right.
point, but Eddie Jones was that dude. I mean, I feel like
No, Eddie
honestly,
Jones was nice.
dude, you take Eddie Jones and put him on them Bulls team and take Scottie off, I still feel like they win. You know,
Yeah, I was about to say is Eddie Jones considered a three?
yeah, yeah, he had 3.
Because
Yeah,
in that case, I forgot to put Eddie Jones and James Worthy on that list.
I mean,
Being
yeah,
better than
yeah,
Scott.
yeah. You didn't say James, you say Big Shot
Yeah,
James. So,
But no, I think even when Eddie Jones went to Miami, I think it was Zoe didn't have that kidney condition that he ended up having because
mm-hmm.
that was when I think I don't know if Miami hadn't screwed up and had actually got in Juwan Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think if that squad like how that stood, I think that was like '96. If they
Mm-hmm.
would have ended up with like Eddie Jones, a healthy Alonzo Mourning, and Juwan Howard,
And
like
Tim Hardaway was there.
oh yeah, Tim Hardaway, they would have been nice. And Eddie Jones would have been a real big part of that. Like Eddie, like you said, Eddie Jones was nice. Like yeah, Kobe. You go overall that yeah, Kobe is definitely the better player. But like you said, if you would have, you could have,
If you'd have left the
you
lineup
could
as is, even with Nick Van Exel, I mean, I feel like they
yeah
was going to eventually figure it out. I think they had moving pieces that they shifted. I mean, because I mean, you look at Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher isn't better than Nick Van Exel. You
no
know, um, but it was crazy. I was watching this podcast, and it was Jeff Teague, and they were talking about like when he first got to the league, and him and Derek Fisher were kind of going back and forth at it, and was talking
mm-hmm.
about how you have to play your role, because
yeah
he said like Derek Fisher was saying, hey, I could hoop, nigga, like look at my numbers in Utah, because he had went to Utah for a second. He actually had
yeah
pretty good numbers,
yeah
and then ended up back with the Lakers, but it's just interesting that certain players have to play their position to be able to win and you
yeah
know I mean, like I said, Kobe had to come off the bench for a little bit just because Eddie Jones was the starter at that time.
right yeah
They moved him, put Kobe in the starting lineup, and I remember one point in time, Kobe had that 0 for 4, like when they were, when they got bounced out, and
by Utah
yeah, and they were like, like why is he shooting? He shouldn't have been doing that, but in
right
hindsight, it was a terrible shooting. I mean, they call him magic, tragic,
yeah
it's stuff like that people don't pay attention to. I mean, it's of course
he would have
it's
never got the Black Mamba
yeah, that part, or in
yeah
Denver she wouldn't have got the Black Mamba either, so it just depends on how you look at it.
wow
So but
yeah
so
I don't know where we go from there.
yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, so and
Yeah,
and
you
that's
said,
in
oh man,
that scenario, yeah, we that's a tough one. I don't even know if we got anything else to say after that. Like,
I don't know. Yeah, who's the best player on the Atlanta Hawks? Oh, that's easy. Dominique Wilkins. That's easy.
all right. Hey, Dominique's a small forward.
I forgot. I'm gonna forget Neek.
Yeah, Dominique's a small forward.
Man, I could, if I really concentrated, I could probably get to 98. Small forwards better than Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, I mean, so
That a
who?
little better in my opinion.
Okay, no, I can see that. I mean, I don't know about Kyle Korver. Um,
Can Scottie
the
shoot the
Kyle
three
Korver,
better than him?
yeah.
Scottie can shoot the three better than Kyle Korver.
You said no. I was saying
Oh yeah,
Kyle can be better than Scotty.
yeah. See, so
What
so yeah.
about Wally Zerbiak?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Without what, hey, if you would have put Scotty on those Wally on those Chicago teams,
Mm-hmm.
like they probably would have won the championship them years that Jordan took off because Wally would have like been a better leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Wally.
He's Van
Okay.
Horn.
Yeah. I was about to say New Jersey Nets. So, what
Yeah.
about Trevor Ariza?
Oh, definitely. Matt Barnes for sure.
Okay, you got Sean Marion. He was kind of a mix of a
Man.
small forward, power forward, but he was more of a
Yeah,
small
but the
forward in my
Matrix definitely. Yeah. Amari Stoudemire.
power forward, but okay.
Well,
I'll,
I mean, what do you call a power forward that averages less than 10 boards a game?
it's a small forward.
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
So,
Yeah. So Eddie Jones above Scotty. Okay, I see that one.
yeah, you trying to win championships, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, so Bonzi Wells.
Oh, definitely. I'm mad that Detroit traded him.
Man.
Definitely.
So you said Grant Hill.
Yep, Paul, without a doubt.
Damn,
Chuck Person, the rifleman. How did I forget him? Chuck
that's
Person.
realistically true, though. Like, I would put Chuck, jokes aside, above Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, well, Chuck Person was the rifleman. Man, Chuck Person played today. Chuck Person probably averaged like 8.7, 8.8 threes a game.
Yeah. Yeah, the way the game is today would definitely allow a lot of players that was, I think, what's the dude, would you put what's his name that can't stop gambling?
Dale Ellis? Yes.
No, that can't stop gambling. He used to play for Boston.
Antoine Walker?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes.
put him, okay.
Antoine Walker right now is better than Scottie Pippen in his prime. And I saw Antoine
Big
Walker
Antoine
recently.
Walker?
Yes.
Yeah,
Big
he don't
Twan.
look, he don't he don't look like he ate Antoine Walker at this point in time in his life.
He do.
He looks totally. I don't know if you ever. It's this picture. I'm gonna send it to you. It's a picture of Eric Snow. You could Google it. Him right now is man. He gained a lot of. He's a coach for some basketball team, but he gained a lot of weight.
He looked like Eric Avalanche.
I don't know. Eric Avalanche. Oh man. So on that note, we just go end the podcast. Make sure you watch, subscribe, like all that shit. We appreciate all you followers or who's ever following. And we talk to everybody soon. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
This nigga said Eric Avalanche.
Yeah, boy. Eric Blizzard.